Okay, so you're going to begin in a standing position. We didn't do this together yesterday, but I'd like you to use the top of a door frame to hang from. If you're able to reach it, if you can't reach it, you can use like a little stool or a phone book. What I'd like you to do, you're going to reach up and wrap your fingers around the top of the door frame, and you're going to pull down slightly through your fingertips just to elongate the spine. You're pressing down through your heels, dropping the tailbone towards the floor. Inhaling through the nose and gliding your hips a little bit to the left and the ribs a little bit to the left. And inhale again, reaching the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. And exhale, belly pulls back towards the spine. Lengthen out through the top of the head. Nice job. So go ahead and relax and roll out the shoulders. And you're going to make your way down to the mat. Okay. All right. So you're going to lay on your back here. And back this up a little bit. Okay. We're going to start with an elongation. So you're going to reach your heels out to the width of the mat, and the arms are going to reach overhead. You're reaching down through your heels and out through your fingertips. So this is another elongation. Your hands are just hovering, your arms are hovering off the floor. Inhale again. And exhale. Inhale for a count of 5, reaching long through the fingertips, down through the heels, dropping the chin down slightly towards the throat. And exhale for a count of 5. Good, go ahead and relax, kind of shake it out for a moment. You're going to keep your right leg extended out straight, left knee is going to bend, and your right hand is coming on top of your right shoulder. Okay, so your elbow is directly out from the shoulder. Left arm is going to reach overhead. So you're reaching long through your left hand and down through the right heel. Okay, so you might feel just a gentle diagonal stretch here. You're going to inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Bring the leg to a hover. You're dropping down and back through those left upper ribs. And the left hip is going to rotate back towards the floor as well. And the right lower ribs are rotating back and down towards the floor. And inhale, lower, find the length through your hand and your foot. And exhale, bring your arm and your leg to a hover. And inhale again, lower. And exhale, bring it to a hover. That belly is drawn back towards the spine, and just draw teeny tiny circles. You're keeping your hips nice and still here. Your ribs nice and still, dropping down through the chin. And circle the other way. Trying to take the wiggle out of everything. It's easier said than done. 2 more. Last time. Good. Lower that leg down and rest your arms, fold the knee in, and let the knee sway side to side for a moment. Okay, nice job. So I'm going to grab my bolster. I'd like you to use that pillow that you used under your hips. Okay, so we're going to lay on your stomach next. Okay, and this bolster, that pillow, just takes the extension out of that lower back, the pressure out of the lower back. You're going to make a pillow for your forehead with your hands and lay yourself down. So in this position, on your inhale, I want you to try to expand out and back into the left upper ribs and your right lower ribs. So you're inhaling for a count of 5 and exhaling for a count of 5. Good, just a few more times here. I'm gonna make sure it has some space behind me. And now on the next one, I want you to straighten out your legs. You're pressing the tops of the feet down into the floor, pulling in through the belly button, lengthening out through the feet and out through the crown of the head, floating the head off the hands. Belly is drawing up towards the spine, and lower everything down on your exhale. And inhale, lengthen through the legs, lengthen through the crown of the head. Belly pulls up towards the spine and rotate the left ribs away from the pillow. And lower back down on your exhale. And again, lengthening through the legs, out through the crown of the head. Good, and now I want you to hold this position with that head just to a little hover. I want you to exhale and you're going to lift your right leg off the ground without dropping through the belly or dropping through the left ribs. And inhale, lower the leg. And exhale, lift the left leg. A little bit more challenging to keep those left ribs rotating away from the floor. Inhale, lower. And exhale, switch. Belly is still pulling up towards the spine. Lengthening out through the top of the head. Chin is pulling back towards the throat. Switch sides. And inhale, lower. And let everything lower together. Give it a little wiggle. Good. Okay. You are going to come onto your side now. We're going to start out laying on your right side. Turn my mat here. Okay, so your right side is where your primary convexity is. And you are focusing on keeping those ribs lifted away from the mat the whole time. Okay, so these ribs right at your bra line. You want to be able to slide your hand underneath. Your bottom leg is bent, your top leg is straight, and you're reaching that top arm overhead. You're going to exhale and lift that leg up to hip height. And inhale, lower. And exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. So make sure you have that nice awareness through the core. Belly is just slightly pulling back towards the spine. You're reaching long through these top fingertips, out through your left heel. And exhale, keep that leg lifted to hip height. Draw teeny tiny circles with your heel. And you're keeping your hips stacked on top of each other. Your shoulders are stacked. Good, you still have that nice lift under your bra line. And circle the other way. Relax the neck. Make sure you're lengthening out through the top of the head. Last circle. Good, lower that leg down. Lower the ribs down. And you can fan the feet up and down a few times here, just to release through the spine. Good. Okay, so we'll do your other side next. Now we're going to be laying on your left side. This is your primary concavity, okay? And this is the side you can allow those ribs to just lay down onto the floor. I have the same curve as you, so what I like to do is stretch this arm out overhead, and you try and stretch those ribs out onto the mat. So you're trying to create some more space in this concavity here, trying to open up in between the ribs that are like kind of smushed together. And now the challenge for you is to maintain the space at the top of your pant line and the bottom of your bra line. So you want to keep this nice and long without your bottom ribs popping up off the floor, okay? And your top arm is reaching up to the ceiling for something that's a little too far away from you. And exhale, reach through the right heel without the bottom ribs coming off. And inhale, lower. And exhale and lift. And inhale, lower. And exhale and lift, pulling back through the belly button. Make sure your chin is drawn back towards the throat a little bit. And 2 more times, exhale and lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale and lift and hold. And now draw teeny tiny circles. Good, still reaching long. Make sure you have this space here. Sometimes it's good to do this in a mirror so you can see. If you have one of those full length mirrors, you can kind of move it around. And now circle the other way. For 3 and 2 and 1. Good, lower that leg down. And you can fan the feet up a few times, up and down. Good, nice job. Okay, last thing. This is going a little bit too long, sorry. All right, so you are going to stand, and we're working on your standing corrections here. Your feet are hip distance apart, hands are on your hips. You're going to press down into your hands to lift the spine up nice and tall. And then you're going to take your left hand, the outside of your left hip, and press down through the right heel to glide the hips to the left. You're dropping down through the tailbone, pulling up through the front of the pelvis. And then you're going to take your hand, move it up to your ribs. And those ribs are going to glide a little bit to the left and rotate back to the left. Your right hand's coming onto your right shoulder. Imagine you have somebody pulling you from your right elbow to the right side of the room. And then your left arm reaches kind of on the diagonal here. Ribs are gliding left, shoulders are gliding right, hips are gliding left. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. And you can stay in that position, work through that a little bit. This last part, you can do this kind of on your own, outside of your video, and let me know if you have any questions. That's it.